G'day all, my name is Brian and this here is Mazuma.
Not very.
How are we, mate? Today I'm going to talk about weapons and I'm not going to go into any specifics. I'm going to just talk about general weapons and what to look for in a weapon. Now the reason why I can't go into any specifics is because different characters will like different types of weapons. You can generally tell what the character likes by at the very end, and say if it's a Krogan it'll have maybe shotguns, the increasing the power recharge speed. The Solarians will have sniper rifles and heavy pistols, etc, etc. Turians will have assault rifles. So that's generally how to tell, but that doesn't mean that you can't put a different weapon on there and use it just as effectively or even better. Just means that character is normally suited for that weapon. However, there are a few points, such as the Krogan's shotgun one I just mentioned, is that shotguns are generally bad. The only two worst shotguns are noting is the Gas Plasma shotgun, which is damn powerful and awesome, and the M7. Every other M7, sorry, not M7, Crusader. They're the only two shotguns worth noting. The other ones stay away from. Even, you might say that the Disciple is light, so it can be used. Don't even worry about it. You generally want the power recharge, and that's the only one with a good power recharge. However, they all have poor fire rate on them. You're almost better off. You're actually better off using a shotgun and an assault rifle or SMG, and the reason that is because, now this is very important with weapons, with gold difficulty and people making mistakes on. You might hear people say assault rifles are brilliant and SMGs are good because they're light, etc, etc. The point is, when firing these weapons, you have to stick your head out for 10 seconds to actually do any real damage to the enemy. So unless you want to do small accrual damage to them, which is kind of pointless, you're better off going with a heavy pistol or sniper rifle. Now the thing is on gold is that you die very quickly if the enemy is shooting at you. Even with maximum health and shields, unless you're a Krogan with 1600 health and shields the Krogan Vanguard Battlemaster has, you're going to die very quickly. Even him isn't going to last too long. His health and shields at full. And they do a lot more damage on gold compared to silver. You seem to survive a lot more longer. So you don't really want to stick your head out for 10 seconds blasting away at them. And you can't really stick your head, and if you're going to stick your head out for 2 seconds, shoot, go back in the cover, stick your head out and shoot again, go back in the cover, you might as well be using a high powered weapon like the Carnifex or a good sniper rifle. Because let's face it, you're going to do a lot more damage every time you pop your head out. You might as well use a one-shot sniper, pop your head out, take off a shot, go back in the cover, reload, pop your head out, take off a shot, go back in the cover, reload. So that's where, especially assault rifles and SMGs, any quick-firing weapon like the Raptor is really poor. There are, of course, some assault rifles which are good. The Falcon, for instance, stay away from a striker. I'm not even going to go there. We can leave that to the comments. A lot of people say they like it. It's a poor weapon for gold. The Falcon is a good weapon. I've heard a lot of people say it's bad. And that's for silver and bronze. Yes, they're a lot more powerful weapons. But the Falcon will stun the enemy. You know how brilliant that is when the enemy is stunned? The sniper's next to you going, woohoo, I can get a headshot and kill the enemy in one hit now. The sniper, now I use the sniper as my favourite. I wasn't going to go into specifics, but here I will to give you an idea. 3 shots on the Widow will kill a Geth Prime. The first shot will completely remove his shields. Second shot will remove actually over half of his armour, but only just over half. The second shot will completely kill him. That's how powerful that weapon is, the Widow. It does just under 1100 damage. Mind you, that's on the Infiltrator, and I've got the Infiltrator built up for every bit of weapon damage he can muster. 90% off the cloak, and then 22.5% off the your second bottom ability. And if you're the human, it's actually 27.5, but I normally don't use a human. I normally use a Solarian, which is only 22.5. And the other thing I want to say with, and this is why you can't actually ask anyone about weapons, is because, say, the heavy pistol at the Carnifex at 10 is completely different to the Carnifex at 1. The Carnifex at 1 is heavy, but the Carnifex at 10 is not. As you can see, I've got a power recharge at plus 200. It would probably only be plus 100 or plus 50% if at level 1. So that there is very different again. Now, what you really want to look at for pistols, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about, about any weapon, what you want to look at is look at damage and accuracy. You want both of those to be high. Fire rate, capacity, and weight are irrelevant. If you're going to be using a lot of power, then rate is relevant. So you're going to be wanting something light like this. However, not necessarily, because you might want a sniper rifle that's heavy, one shot like the Widow. What does my Widow do? I'll get rid of that pistol. Plus 61% there. That, for your powers, that might be quick enough. So take the weight into consideration, but you don't necessarily need plus 200%. That Widow might be better for you to fire off 2 powers, shoot with the Widow, reload, fire off 2 powers, shoot with the Widow, reload, or just 1 power and reload with the weapon. It's all dependent on your powers and your weight for each of the weapons. So always take that into account and try it out. It might look good on here, but another one that didn't look good on here might actually work better in game. In different situations, just because it works good in one game doesn't mean it's going to work good in another game for a different enemy. Take the arc pistol for instance, look at its stats, it's brilliant. High fire rate, low weight, good capacity, very high damage and accuracy, as well as fire rate. Compared to the Carnifex is worse in basically everything but accuracy. And the Carnifex is a tiny bit better in weight. But the arc pistol is only good against the Geth. Everything else, you're better off using the Carnifex. So that comes into importance as well. What the enemy is, what you want to do with them, who you're playing with. You might want to bring out the Falcon, even though it might hamper you a little bit in your power recharge. However, it could greatly enhance your teammates' abilities. If your teammate is a group of snipers, you hitting them with a Falcon will stun all the enemies. Your allies who are using high-powered sniper rifles are suddenly finding enemies who aren't moving. They can hit them in the head and kill them in one shot now, whereas it might have taken 2 shots later. You could absolutely class the enemy doing that, with you doing basically no damage and your allies just slaughtering everything that moves, or that doesn't move. So always take that into account as well. What your allies are using and how you want to help each other out. It's pointless to have 4 people all with range and nothing with close range for anything that comes up close to you. However, that being said, none of you should equip a shotgun, in my opinion, unless it's the Geth Plasma or the N7 Crusader. Well, thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something new, and please leave comments as to your favourite weapons and how you and your buddies like to play the game, your mates like to play the game. What weapons do you like to use, and if you consider, say, the capacity and fire rate to be important. If you don't like a ranged weapon, if you wait for the enemy to come in close and you don't bother attacking them at range. Remember, this is for gold difficulty. Don't put any suggestions on here that are for silver or bronze. Remember, what works terrific in silver and bronze doesn't necessarily going to mean it's going to work good in gold. And that's mainly because you've got to take into account that you're going to die very quickly. So that's where fast-firing assault rifles and SMGs don't really come into effect. You might find an instance though where they are actually helpful. If so, please tell us, let us know. Leave in some comments. If you liked them, please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching, and check out our other videos.